What is your profit by product on Amazon? Most Amazon sellers cannot answer that question because Amazon puts this data in a bunch of different places where you need at least 17 spreadsheets just to compile that data. And it's very, very hard to track. Luckily, we're going to go through Managed by Stats today and really dive into that. My name's Victor Dwyer with Piranha, and let's dive into what Managed by Stats really looks like. So, here we are. This is what the Managed by Stats kind of demo dashboard really goes through, and you'll be able to see all the standard stuff by the like product revenue, what's going on the last 7 days, and everything else like that last 30 days. And you'll be able to see the product revenue and what the profit is as well. And what I really liked about it is you can really find the KPIs that matter to you. And they basically said, like, hey, there's really only four KPIs that really matter to an Amazon seller. And where it's the session count, the conversion amount, the potential profit, and the average review rating. And at its core, that's really right. Like, these are the things you have to pay attention. Are your sessions going up? Is your conversion rate going down? Is your profit going down? Meaning that you're advertising more because your sales could be going skyrocketing out the roof, but if your profit isn't there, then it's not worth it. So I really, really liked what they did here. How they're able to pull in this amount and really see what's happening over time, and you'll be able to see the amount of quantity ordered, seeing what the gross revenue will be, your top sellers here, seeing what the top sellers are kind of doing on this side, and this is kind of just an overview dashboard, so it's not nothing too fancy. So let's go into the finance tab next here. Cool. And then we were able to see like the product revenue breakdown of the Amazon fees, the promo rebates, the sales tax. That's kind of what this goes through on the gross profit. What your costs are. What are the costs from Amazon is. I'm gonna make me smaller on this. So you can just see the total Amazon payout. What is your gross profit? I'm gonna move myself over here. You'll be able to see what your gross profit is, which is nice. And then you can go to the statistics. So we'll be able to go to like sales graphs. We'll be able to see, okay, like where are we on the average customer review rating? And we'll be able to see like, okay, how does this change over time? Are are the amount of reviews that we're getting, is that changing our conversion rate? That's going to be an important thing. Is that impacting our net revenue? And when it comes to the cost of goods sold, how is that impacted over time? Is that going up? Is that going down? Because cost of goods has not mattered. They obviously have always mattered, but it's getting more and more important because of inflation. Inflation is driving up the cost of goods, and it's what everyone is talking about right now. And you're going to want to keep track of your cost of goods to know, is your profit margin healthy or is it not? Because you could be advertising an ASIN that really doesn't get into the amount of revenue you're truly making. And what they're going to eventually add, hopefully, is the ability to do a repeat purchase analysis on this. And from there, you'll be able to see your estimated gross profit on here. If you're losing the buy box, that's really important. Is your amount of quantity of your refunds going up? Is your sales rank going up? And you'll be able to really go through this process and see, okay, what is your conversion rate doing? Your sales. I would say this would be a more in depth for the more Amazon manager person. I would say the first dashboard was more for a high level CEO, and then if you're going to the nitty gritty of things, they really allow the capability to go high level and super granular on what's happening in the account, which is really, really cool. And then, like, if you want to go to the marketing graphs, you can see a few other things there, like what's going on with the average CPC. This is really important to track in Q4 because in Q4 we'll usually see cost per clicks usually double. So it's very, very important to see what's happening on the cost per click side. You might invest more in an external traffic because of that. What is happening with the ad cost? Are the ad impressions? Is your click through rate going down? You got to do more main image testing. There's a certain thing that you have to do for every single KPI that goes down here. And I might make a video in this saying, hey, if your click through rate goes down, you need to do more main image testing. there's a certain action item for every KPI that goes down here and what to test next. And then we're going to go to the statistics and graph data. This is where you can just see like, okay, what's changing over time and really be able to see the differences there. And then you can do the change log, see what happens there. I'm going to go to the customers tab. I'm going to go to the repeat buyers. And you can just see the people that have been repeat buying, which is nice. And you'll be able to see that on your lifetime revenue. I want them to aggregate that. That'd be cool. You'll be able to see the geo analyze kind of what's going on, see where are people most likely buying, if it's what state, and you can really see it nice and easy like this. And I'm gonna probably skip the rest. You can see the feedback and everything else there, and then you can see the catapults. The rest is just like finding certain things, being able to really go through that process of doing keyword finders and things like that. A lot of other tools do that, so I'm probably going to skip over that this time. Let's go over to the advertising and just kind of see what's going on over here. So you'll really be able to dive in to what your margin is and how profitable your PPC ads are. So you'll be able to do like a comparison date range, and you'll be able to see, okay, what was your prior product revenue? What is your product revenue now? You might have double your cost in your Amazon ads, doubled your spend, but you might have the same amount of sales, which is important to keep track of. And it's really important to make sure that, hey, everything's being utilized here. And you're just going through that process. And you'll be able to really dive down and just really see it on a campaign level, go down to the ad group level. You'll really be able to see like what are the negative keywords in here. These are all pretty self-explanatory on this side, but you'll be able to see at least the profit on the overall hub side, which will be super helpful. And you'll be able to see, okay, what's going on with inventory? What are the things that you have to restock? How much inventory do you have? You'll be able to really dive into the product metrics. Is your buy box decreasing? This is a huge deal. And you'll be able to see, okay, what's your conversion rate? And is that decreasing or is that going up? Because that's obviously a huge deal if your conversion rate goes down. And then reviews. What's your average review rating? How's that being impacted? You can really dive down and really see what is changing over time. You can change your COGS to really see what your margin is. There's a lot of granular things that you can get in this. And then you can get into the supply chain beta. I don't know much about that, so I'm going to skip over that. And then you can do the seller mail. You basically can see how much direct mail you sent out to your customers. I'm going to skip over that. And then the rest are just like basic things. But the most what you're going to get out of it is probably the statistics and the amount of revenue that you're actually generating and the amount of profit that you're really getting out of your account, and really figuring out the KPIs that really just matter to increasing your sales. Because really, if you keep track of these 4 KPIs, you're going to be in a good place. You really are. And you'll be able to see like, okay, we increased our spend and we have our sales are all-time high, but our profit is all-time low. That happens all the time on Amazon. You'd be surprised on how often that actually occurs. Is your sales might be all-time high, but your profit's all-time low after Amazon takes all their share. And it's very common because Amazon fees and Amazon costs are only going up, and the cost of goods are only going up, making it where your profit margin is just decreasing and decreasing even more. So this will be a great way to really see how much profit you're actually putting in your pocket, which will help you out a lot in long term. So I hope this is valuable. I hope you gain value out of this video. This is Managed by Stats. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.